11:23 p.m., September 14, 2025. An apartment in Mapo-gu, Seoul. Park Mi-sun sits wearing headphones, staring at her laptop screen. The screen displays VoiceEternal, AI voice restoration service. To hear her son Junwoo's voice again, who died in a car accident 3 years ago, she chose this service. The prepared file contains only 5 minutes and 12 seconds of phone call recording. The last call recorded at 2:15 p.m. on June 3, 2022. Can this brief recording truly bring back her son's voice? The service cost was 2.8 million won, 1 month's salary. But Mi-sun didn't hesitate. Her finger hovers over the play button. That phone recording she listened to every night for 3 years. Now she will hear not Junwoo's voice, but a new voice created by AI. Mi-sun takes a deep breath and clicks the mouse. 3 years ago that day, Junwoo made his last call to his mother. "Mom, I did well on my final exam today. I think I'll get an A. I'll come home tonight. I'll buy the cake you like." His voice was bright as always. Third-year business major, 22-year-old Junwoo, spent busy days preparing for job hunting. The call ended at 2:20 p.m., but at 4:27 p.m. that day, Junwoo was hit by a speeding car that ran a red light while crossing the pedestrian crossing in front of school. When the ambulance arrived, he was already unconscious. Transferred to Seoul National University Hospital emergency room, but the brain hemorrhage was severe. At 11:43 p.m., Junwoo never woke up. All that remained for Mi-sun was that 5-minute, 12-second phone recording. For 3 years, she replayed that file every night. But as time passed, Junwoo's voice gradually faded in her memory. Then in July 2025, Mi-sun discovered a news article on a portal site. The headline read, "AI restores voices of the deceased." VoiceEternal surpasses 100,000 users in 3 months. October 2024. The VoiceEternal project begins at an AI startup. In Gangnam, Seoul, founder Dr. Kim Tae-hoon studied voice synthesis AI at KAIST. What led him to develop this technology was his grandmother's death in 2023. Not recording his grandmother's voice, who raised him all his life, became his lifelong regret. Dr. Kim asked himself, can we perfectly recreate a deceased person's voice with just a few minutes of audio sample? The VoiceEternal system uses deep learning-based TTS text-to-speech algorithms. It learned from 12,000 hours of Korean voice data and analyzes individual voice characteristics, intonation, breathing patterns, emotional nuance, sentence ending treatment with 127 parameters. Even with just 5 minutes of audio sample, it could restore voices with 99.3% accuracy. When the service officially launched on March 15th, 2025, the response was explosive. 23,000 people in the first month, 100,000 bereaved families applied within 3 months. However, this technology simultaneously sparks social controversy. Is it ethically justified to revive the voices of the dead with AI? On June 20th, 2025, the Seoul National University Neuroscience Research Team published stunning research results in the international journal Nature Neuroscience. The team conducted fMRI brain scans on 73 VoiceEternal users. The results were shocking. When hearing the restored voice of the deceased, bereaved, families' brains showed nearly identical patterns to actual conversations with that person. The auditory cortex in the temporal lobe strongly activated, and the amygdala triggered intense emotional responses. Particularly, the hippocampus recalled past memories, while the prefrontal cortex recognized that person's existence as real. The brain could not distinguish between AI-created voices and actual voices. The team's Professor Lee Myung-soo named this auditory memory reactivation. The human brain recognizes voice not as mere acoustic signals, but as the totality of that person's identity, emotions, and relationships. Voice is a more powerful memory trigger than faces. The amygdala recognizes emotions in voices within zero point 0.2 seconds, and the hippocampus simultaneously activates thousands of related memories. This explains why bereaved families shed tears the moment they hear deceased voices. However, this discovery also raised concerns. Is this technology healing, or does it prolong grief? The moment she presses play, Junwoo's voice flows from the headphones. "Mum, how was your day today?" "I'm doing well, don't worry." At that moment, Mi-sun feels as if her breath stops. More vivid than the last call 3 years ago. The intonation, the habit of slightly trailing sentence endings, the small, breathing sound when laughing, the lip, trembling characteristic when pronouncing M, all exactly as before. AI extracted 127 voice characteristics from 5 minutes. 12 seconds of phone recording to generate completely new sentences. "Mum, I love you. Thank you always. When it's hard, it's okay to rest. I want you to be happy." Mi-sun covers her mouth and begins to cry the moment she hears the voice. These were the words she wanted to hear her whole life. Junwoo was a child, awkward at expression while alive. He never directly said, "I love you." But AI offers words of comfort in his voice. The system-generated conversation continued for 15 minutes, 22 seconds. "Mum, it's okay without me. You're doing well enough. I'm always by your side." Mi-sun cannot remove the headphones, replaying the same file for 30 minutes. A conversation after 3 years. A farewell after 3 years. VoiceEternal's explosive success simultaneously sparked fierce social controversy. October 18, 2025. Global Grieftech Conference at COEX, Seoul. Before 1,200 attendees, AI ethics professor Lee Soo-jin raises the core question. Did the deceased consent to their voice being restored by AI? In most cases, the answer was no. Those like Junwoo, who departed suddenly, never had opportunity for prior consent. Legal experts argued for digital legacy rights. Voice is biometric information and core of personal identity. It must be protected even after death. The European Union already passed the AI Posthumous Personality Rights Protection Act in 2024. Restoring deceased voices, videos, images with AI requires explicit consent from the person while alive. But Korea still lacked relevant laws. However, bereaved families strongly objected. Bereaved family representative Choi Young-hee, participating as panelist, says, "We only want to hear final farewells. We cried every night for 3 years. This voice saved me. Is this wrong?" CEO Kim Tae-hoon presented a middle position. Starting November 1, 2025, VoiceEternal introduced a pre-consent registration system. A system allowing people to choose whether to allow voice restoration while alive. But for the 100,000 already departed, the answer remained in a grey zone. Technology was evolving faster than law. January 15th, 2026. Park Mi-sun visits the grave on Junwoo's 3rd memorial anniversary. She turns on the Bluetooth speaker, playing Junwoo's voice restored by AI. "Mom, don't worry. I'm okay. I want you to be happy too." "I'm proud of you," Mi-sun quietly answers. "Junwoo, Mum is okay now too. Hearing your voice again, I feel I can properly let you go." "Thank you, Junwoo. I love you." She never once regretted choosing VoiceEternal. The voice didn't prolong her grief, but allowed her to complete an unfinished farewell. Seoul National University neuroscience team's 6-month follow-up study found that among 847 VoiceEternal users, 78.3% responded that grief intensity significantly decreased. Depression scores dropped an average 42.7%. Sleep quality improved 36.2%. However, 21.7% answered dependency developed. Some played AI voices more than 5 hours daily. Technology was clearly a double-edged sword. As of January 2026, VoiceEternal expanded to 47 countries worldwide, with 520,000 bereaved families using the service. Ethical debates continue, but for Park Mi-sun, only one thing mattered. She could hear her son say, "I love you," for the last time, and she could say "I love you" to her son. That alone was enough. Mi-sun rises before the tombstone, caressing Junwoo's photo one last time. She quietly walks away. The winter sky is clear, her footsteps light.